Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
We can hear you.
There is fight in the court now. San Wahab Shitu is fighting.
Why is he fighting? Why?
Maybe they don't want. Maybe the question was too. Maybe the grilling is too much.
Abeg ọlọ́pàá
This is what we want. This is what we want.
Ọlọ́run ìjọ mímọ́, Ọlọ́run ìjọ mímọ́ ó ṣe. Ọlọ́run Celestial ó ṣe. Ọlọ́run SPJ ó ṣe. Ọlọ́run Babalọ́lá ẹ ṣe o.
Slap that judge. Slap that judge.
Now the violence wey Papa Yano fight for them. Now the violence.
Representation.
Now the violence wey Papa Yano fight for this one.
They should scatter the place.
Maybe could hear the voice.
Let's go to Abuja.
Make una dey both go for me. Come on,
That we have a lawyer.
Let's go.
Let's hear updates now. Amika, hold on. Oh yeah, Jade, myself. Oh yeah.
Somebody's
Amika, you're gone. Please hold on. Amika, oh yeah, please hold on.
Yeah, so she sent me voice note that I can hear the shout like the man screaming.
Oh yeah, play the voice note. Play the voice note.
It's on this phone that I'm using to speak to you.
All right, okay. Later, we'll play later.
Paparano, I told you the lawyer is a radical lawyer.
Yeah.
He's a very radical
She
one.
told me what happened. She told me what happened. Listen. Are you there?
Yes.
Hello, are you still there?
Yes,
She said
you
they told Sanshitu not to ask question about Liam paternity. That's what caused the fight.
Paparano, now the inquest now go order the paternity now. Now this inquest now.
No. It's not their duty. Nobody their duty. That's not what.
Papariano, in our.
That is the case. Wait now.
I think it will shed more light.
The judge get right. The judge get right. I mean, to come in there.
That's what I'm telling you.
But I mean, they should understand that it's a worldwide case. Because
Papariano, don't forget that.
To establish the cause of death, not family.
Yes.
Papariano, don't forget that in our small courts yesterday.
Papariano, can I ask you a quick question? Sorry guys. Now
Let's talk, Jerry.
in this case,
Matt
Binu, God is you. I like to ask questions and they learn. Don't vex. I beg. In this case here, who can stop the son not to ask that kind of question? Is it the Wumi's lawyer or the magistrate?
No, Wumi's lawyer can object.
We will object and seek the judge order to stop asking that question.
To stop him from asking the question.
Yeah. If nobody objects, the judge might overlook it.
The judge might, but the judge should be able to stop them. I mean, from
the judge will stop. But it is not left for Shitu to establish the reason why he's asking that question.
Exactly.
Papariano, why is it that every time they ask about Liam, they are triggered?
The question is valid, yeah.
Why is it that every time they ask about that beautiful boy, they are triggered? That is a question for concern.
That is not what they are there to do in that panel. That panel have an aim. Their aim there is to unravel the cause of death. If the question is if it's in the route of what killed Mohbad, then
maybe we don't know.
I think right. That question is valid because the man is trying to see whether there was a fight, there was an argument. Even if it's me, I will fight with the judge. This one,
of course now. Somebody said that. Yeah, Papa. That's why I said it is the judge now that will now order the DNA now. It is that judge now. They will not grant to order for the DNA.
Bayo. That's not the job of it's the police that can do that. It's not the job of the inquest.
Vegetable Island, in addition to what Papariano said, it is a legal city, and they have to ensure that the child's right is protected.
No, I understand.
The fight is between the magistrate and Mr. Shitu. She just told me now.
Why
I'm sorry, I don't trust that. Because Papariano, if that question was asked and on the path to get to the answer of why Mohbad had died, if it's relatable, because we don't know what question he asked Prime Boy, we just heard Prime Boy's response to a question, which is whatever Shutzi asked, and then Prime Boy said he doesn't even know if Mohbad said to him he doesn't even know if Liam is his, and they'd only slept together once. But what was the question that was asked to lead him to say that? Do you see what I mean, Papariano?
Mm-hmm.
So why is the
yeah, someone is still coming. Vegetable, someone is still coming here to give us a full update about that.
Don't forget, guys, don't forget.
I know, but I'm saying
guys,
that...
Guys, don't forget something, right? Whatever that is being said there in the inquest, typically, it is not, it's not going to be used elsewhere. So, for Prime Boy to be really helpful, after Prime Boy lived there, advise him to go to Berekete or to go to Channel Television. Okay? Even me, I will pay anything Prime Boy want right now, as long as he wants to help. Everybody will support him. All of us, we are behind him if it's going to be helpful. Okay? Because he has shown that right now, he's ready to help. So if it's going to be helpful, everybody want to support him. We are tired of playing us, spending this one, security, that one. Anybody that wants to help right now, want to support you. It is not only in the inquest that Prime Boy can say all of those things, but there are some limitations to things that Prime Boy may not be able to say in the inquest, or the panel may not allow Prime Boy to say those things in the inquest. But after he leave them, he can still go in front of a commissioner of oath to say the same thing again that he said in the inquest, and it's going to be valid. It's going to be as authentic as anything. It's going to be an affidavit. That is a statement that you said under oath. I swear to Almighty God, when we were in that car, this is what and what happened. They will say, are you sure? Because if you change this thing tomorrow, it's perjury. The abuse against you. One Prime Boy can stand on that. Banka. So it's not necessarily inquest. Don't worry. At least he has spoken in the inquest. After inquest now, yes, there are some things Prime Boy, I think, he wanted to only say those things in the inquest. And after then, he will now begin to say it freely. So we should be waiting to see another version of Prime Boy, different from the one that, that Papariano have been analyzing and that we have been all criticizing. So we should be seeing another version of Prime Boy after he leaves it. And I hope it's a genuine one. I pray that it's a genuine one. Because it's not easy to deal with this. Our young people these days, everybody mindset is something else. So let's keep focusing. We are doing the right thing.
Papariano, let me ask you one question.
Very, very well.
From the snippets that we've heard, do you trust that magistrate? Honestly. From the snippets that you've heard. The magistrate
has been suspicious, okay? The magistrate has been suspicious, okay, with the way he went through the case of spending, even Wunmi herself. So we can see that she's not been allowing people to ask questions that will really be helpful and to really bring in people like Darusha, people like Driver. The kind of choice of people that the magistrate have been bringing to the court shows already her stance, for me.
I agree.
I think she's 1,000% biased. 1,000% biased. That's my thought.
100%. She is.
Now be this so. If they tell una, me not train our children, make no Princeton.
Oh, we shall tell me no wahala.
I know.
When they tell you people take care of your child,
let's get full of
Bíbélì ní tán, ó ní tán mú ẹ kó lè bá fún ẹ ní ìsinmi. Ìyá mo me. Shall you see your life now? See where you push your children. Even your daughter confirmed it that you are not a good mother. Karimo said it.
Golden Field. I am Yinka. All the women.
Your daughter said it.
Golden Field. No vex. All of us on this panel, you can see that things are falling in place.
Hallelujah!
Karimo came out yesterday to start opening this girl's bum and said that if Iyabo had opened her mouth to talk, that Karimo.
One word,
sorry, Wumi's finished. The one of the voice note today, she even was threatening for that, even though it was a family rift, but she still went for that to say that she's going to finish Wumi's life on social media. So for what Prime Boy has said today now, is the evidences are piling up. The line is pointing that way. And to me, Papa Rhino, that question that Wahab Shittu would have asked is actually to shed more light. And that magistrate is very stupid, because it should be that comment leads to an open-ended question. Because if somebody says to you, I'm not even sure that child is my own, I slept with her only once, of course it calls for the son to begin to probe, to ask, to see if there's anything where Mohbad would have told Prime Boy about, doubting the paternity of this child.
You understand?
Anne Asuku. Again, I mean, with the respect to that panel, the corona, okay? Let's make it practical. Let's say that I'm Prime Boy. I have said that Mohbad told me that you only slept once, I mean, with the wife. Okay? Now, if the lawyer want to continue to ask me, then what happened? But what happened is that there was a paternity dispute, there was this fight, and it led to a fight. Then the fight led to what injured Mohbad. These are the areas that they are trying to push a conversation to.
So that means he's probing furthan Papa Rhino. He's probing so that the guy can shed more light.
If let me say Prime Boy has established that there was a fight between Wunmi and Mohbad in that car, okay, and then this is the reason for their fight, and Prime Boy is explaining, they will never stop Prime Boy, because it's saying why they fight. But if it's going to be saying things that will not lead to show whether, because they will not assume, the court doesn't work with assumption. They will not assume that, because of Mohbad only sleep with Wunmi once, because this happened, so that means that eventually there must be a fight. They will not think like that. Did you witness a fight? So it would have been that, yes, they were fighting, they were arguing, one was holding on the other, and I heard them. While one was holding the other on the neck, he was squeezing his cloth, and he kept saying this, he kept saying that. That is valid. I don't know whether you understand what I mean.
I understand it. But for me, right, my own thought here is that the son is trying to find motives of murder. Because to me, let's look at it this way. I didn't answer the question when you asked before. If a man comes and says to you and said, that child is a bastard, it's very simple that he's suspicious of you. There are trust issues. Infidelity is the order of the day here, and that's why he's asking that question. A very sane man.
Sorry, Anne, to cut you off. I think Papa Rhino is right.
Quick one, please. Sorry. Now they've continued, and I think the man has agreed not to question the paternity anymore. So
he must drop it. He will have to drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Papa Rhino is right, because I think from what myself said is he said that Mohbad told me one time. That's hearsay. That's hearsay. And you can't go by hearsay, I'm afraid. Even if it's true, it's got nothing to do with that specific incident that happened in the car. Now you're talking about something that happened outside of the scene where they are trying to figure out what happened. So I understand what you're saying, Papa Ryan. I agree. It makes sense now.
Yeah, but Prime Boy must confirm whether there was a fight or not in that car. That's what I'm still waiting for him to do, because if he can confirm that
all right, Papariano,
argument with that fight is nothing, no. Believe me. Argument doesn't.
All right, let me read this out. This is from Prime Boy. He said the camera that was there was at the time Bella was attacked, but he wasn't at home. He picked the people from the CCTV camera. So Mohbad said he was going to do a CCTV camera, and when he went back to his house 3 weeks after, he told him CCTV is fixed. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat that again, please? Sorry.
All right, because the way she typed it, all right. He said the camera that was there was at the time Bella was attacked. I remember Bella was attacked at some point, but I don't know where. But he wasn't at home. He picked the people who attacked Bella from the camera, right? So Mohbad said he was going to do a CCTV camera. And when he went back to his house 3 weeks after, that's when Prime Boy went to Mohbad's house 3 weeks after, he told him CCTV is fixed. And they said Wunmi's lawyer is a madman. So I don't know. Yeah, they said Wunmi's lawyer is a madman. So I believe Wunmi's lawyer is giving them tough time.
Wahala. Yes, now. The last time their lawyer was confronting Mohbad's father in the police station.
Yeah, nothing.
Saying
That baby lawyer.
That's the Falana lawyer now. It is good that we have shit now. Boom.
Yes.
My understanding from what I read now, I will explain my own way. I think Bella was attacked in Bella's house. I think that was when they were still living there, right? So because Bella was able to find out those that came to attack him via the CCTV, hence the reason why he said he was going to go fix his own camera. Then 3 weeks after, Prime Boy came there and he told Prime Boy the camera has been fixed.
And it's true.
Like
and why would he not fix a camera? Somebody whose life was under threat.
And again, another update. The lawyer said there was a fight between Prime Boy and Darusha in Darusha's house. That's from Wumi's lawyer.
Where's Darusha's house? And what's that got to do with Mohbad?
Now lawyer go use the mouth talk that one. I've been a witness. Now go talk that
house,
one.
Bawo. Waiting concern Prime Boy and Darusha. So you will leave.
No. Maybe you didn't get it very well. Oh. Maybe it's the fight that happened that I'm talking about in that show between Darusha.
They say Darusha's house. Darusha's house.
No.
Yeah. You know there was a fight that
Adura. Make a no stop Prime Boy show.
You know, there was a show of there was a time of Adura and Darusha running.
She started talking about a fight of Prime Boy in Darusha's house. That's what the lawyer is saying. That's Wumi's lawyer. A fight of Prime Boy in Darusha's house.
When was that? When?
She's not giving me all the details. So maybe she's trying to say, or they are trying to paint a scenario that maybe they said everybody screamed at the lawyer. Everybody screamed at Wumi's lawyer. She's telling me that now. But from what I just read now, maybe they're trying to paint a scenario that Mohbad and Prime Boy probably had a fight in Darusha's house. Maybe.
Yeah. They are trying to make people understand Prime Boy is violent.
But that lie will not fly because
they are trying to discredit Prime Boy's statement. They are trying to credit. Yeah.
These people.
They said everybody in the court. She said everybody in the court screamed at Wumi's lawyer. So maybe that would be a reset in his brain. That's a 40 reset. That Wole.
When did a lawyer become a witness? When did a lawyer become?
The lawyer is doing her job now. He's doing his job. He's been.
When did he become a witness in court?
That son no go green now. Ofe one learning. That son no go green for that.
You say that son a radical son now. That guy is a Muslim now. All these Muslim is a very radical one. That's why they gave him son now. He became son 2 years ago.
I'm going to send him 2 bottles of NSC.
That son no go green. Falana, shey you see and say you self you kere, you too small. I want tell you for fun. Wumi team shetiri eraye yin. I want tell you for fun. Won le wojú àwa o. Falana is not even there. He's saying he's baby lawyer. You don't have that strength. I want to gapasi.
I love you. I love you.
Never sing that. I don't do dance. Yes, mama.
You see that tweet?
Mohbad is putting hand in their throats.
Yeah, and you see
Mohbad is doing something.
You see all that twisting of their lie. That lawyer is their chief educator. So all the lie that they are saying, that lawyer is the one that is giving them the lies. Imagine that elephantiasis baby lawyer coming up with such nonsense. At what point? How is that relevant? Where would even if there was a fight? Where Darusha and Prime Boy did not fight on Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday that Mohbad died. Oh, thank God, say that Sunday there.
Yes, so I really appreciate that man.
You know what make lawyer job? Annie, you know what make lawyer job?
He did a great job. And the people that even said we should.
A woman's lawyer to go chop.
So
now.
he did a great job, honestly.
Everyone. Everyone.
It's not easy to
no because no carry hand come.
See.
Hello, everyone. If they pay me, say Falana no carry hand, come there. Hello, when I wait my talk. If they pay me, say Falana no use the hand, come there. Make it come collect shame. If I come by himself, make it chop shame today.
He no fit come, Jare. He no fit come. He no get that mind.
Okay.
He no get that mind.
Now they want to read
I don't be fool. These lawyers, they know how they arrange
Let
their
me wait
meetings
to
for
one
back.
house. Hello. Hold on, please. Oh yeah, go ahead.
The news reaching me now is toxic. They want to read out the toxicology report now. So everybody get your Coke and Fanta and your popcorn.
Okay. Hey, Papa Inabed, play
Yes,
song.
so.
Papa Inabed, just help make my man calm down. Just
Okay, for the hold on for the rest, Madam Annie, hold on. Somebody said I should just try to say well. I think this person just came in. What they've told us so far is Pramber did well in the court with Omwali. Only Omwali ni. So, and other things to being said, but the person is coming to give us the full details of what happened at that coroner inquest. You understand? So you cannot see what is actually going on right now. That's
Golden Seal.
yes, hold on. Mesh, hold on, Madam Annie. So what I'm saying is, you can see some people trying to hail Baba Falana. The other camp saying, Baba Falana, you cannot see that Baba Falana is just selling the names. Just the name, Orukoni Babanta. Baba is selling that name. Falana Shemba. Because they cannot look into, he cannot look into us, the public. He don't have that strength to deal with us. We are stronger than him and the women camp. And if you listen to Karimo yesterday, Karimo said their mother is a bad woman. He doesn't train women. You cannot see. But the full update is coming. What do you guys want now? Oh yeah, Madam Annie, what do you want?
Play any better song with it.
Can we just calm our nerve? Can we just play some song and dance?
Yes.
Please, let's play some music.
I'm asking. Okay, let me play it. Okay.
Orisha Femi, I beg. Double wahala.
No.
Now the song where this mood need be this. Now this mood need this song.
I beg give her that song first.
Intro.
Give her that song first. For me, Orisha Femi.
Has changed already. It's not looking fine anymore. Since they started mentioning that case, but we have people there that will witness it. We have people there that will witness it. Thank you.
So it's still going on. They've not finished.
Yeah, they haven't finished. They are still in court. She said
they haven't finished. She just came out like this. What this guy is saying now? This guy is the Baba.
You know what? They have to identify time of death. This cause of death.
I'm trying to explain to some of the.
They've not finished.
If the cause of death is not determined, time of death should be confirmed. We need time of death.
Time of death will work.
So they've not finished yet. They're still on it.
They finished with toxicology. Golden Seal. They finished with toxicology, but they haven't finished in court. They've read out the toxicology.
The court, yes. But the court is not.
Did they measure time of death? Time of death.
Oh, the court is still on now.
Is the time of death mentioned?
Bayo.
Yeah, they haven't given us all the details yet.
Yes, now they've not finished. That is what the guy said, and I'm saying exactly what the guy said. The court is not over yet. And Rema, calm down. They still have other things to talk about. So the court is not over yet. So probably they're still going to talk more about those things. So let's listen to what people are saying. We are not there. It's the reports given. So if the court is over, then they will come out and give up the full details of what happened. People that are there, they will come out and give up the full details. All this one is just brief information. But the full details is coming out soon when the court is over.
Golden Seal, 1 second.
Welcome, Mommy Crush Queen.
They want to show picture now. So, like, they want to show them the picture and explain in details. So, That's
Okay.
the newest update.
Okay. We are waiting for them. Crush Queen, mommy, do you have something to say, please?
Yes, I do. I appreciate you all. I think you're all ladies except Bio Billions and the host Papariano. I think me, myself, and I think I'm hearing a male voice. But I can say that you ladies you are like lions. I tell you, your analyses are brutally on point. Golden Seal,
Thank
I
you so
salute
much.
you. I am Inka Day, my princess, Saniki Shaya, my personal person, Juices, and my sagacious Anna Suko. Fire, that lady na fire, no be lie. And Twali. Able commenters, I love to be on the comment section because now their action day. We are all monitoring spirits. The Gbasgbos, well done. This is what I have to say. So far, good news all around. Fine boy, when you fine boy Tifaja, though we don't have the update yet, but the news coming in from the courtroom, coroner inquest is heartwarming, and we can dance whenever we have any chance to celebrate. Let us grab it. That is why I love Ayami Nkade's mood today. Very infectious, and I was actually dancing where I
Crush
did.
Queen, Crush Queen,
Yeah.
Crush Queen. Chris, hold on. Let me come on video. You need to see Baba right now. You guys need to see
Okay.
Baba mood. Baba is really crying on a live show. Please, let's see. Let me put the video. Can someone, moderator, please, can you bring me to the big screen, please? Let me show it to every one of you to see what is going on. This is Baba live. You can see Aloba. Baba ole bie mo. Moderator, please, let people see it.
It has not been an easy journey. Please keep praying for us.
Baba is sitting inside the car and he was cleaning his ears seriously. He couldn't withstand that pain. Why is that guy not showing him now? Baba was actually crying and he's telling Baba that it pains Baba so much. The guy take Baba's face out of the camera because Baba was crying before I told the. You can hear what he's saying. So I think he wasn't okay with the way Baba is crying, so you have to take Baba out of the camera from the front of the phone. It's not easy. Let's keep praying for that man, please.
Take the camera back to him because he's crying profusely, and then the more he talks about it, please, nobody should let them flag this life. Or stop putting crying emoji, please, so that they will not flag this life.
Golden Seal, can you hold on, please? Can you pause, please?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, from what I'm getting now, they said the casket was fake. That's one. Hold on, I'm trying to, because I'm looking at my phone to read it out. There was no blood in the casket. His leg was bent and the neck was bent. Injury on the back of his forearm, superficial injury. So far that's all I've got now.
Not only the neck, even the leg was bent.
Yeah, I just told you the neck.
The leg and the staff at his back of his arm.
These children are wicked.
You said what?
Leg was bent. No blood in the casket. Injury on the back of his forearm. Superficial.
Wait, let him finish now. Mute. Mute, Juicy, please mute.
Juicy, mute now. Why you always behave like this, like small kid?
I'll go again.
What do you mean? Didn't you see that muted?
The casket was too fake, they said his
Please, can you read
leg
it
was
again?
bent.
Okay.
The casket, that's the coffin, right? The coffin was too fake. ó fake gan. Bóyá ọkọ̀ kan gípọ̀. Then they said his leg was bent and the neck was bent. All we saw before was just the neck, but now they said the leg was bent and the neck was bent. There was no blood in the casket. Injury on the back of his forearm. Then superficial injury. That one, I don't know what she's talking about as per the superficial injury. Maybe Crunch Queen can enlighten us.
Sniper, can you repeat all over again? Can you repeat all over again, the sniper?
Okay. Okay. All right. He said the casket was too fake, right? His leg was bent. His neck was bent. There was no blood in the casket. Injury on the back of his forearm. Superficial injury. Is that clear
Abayo,
enough?
did you hear that? Yes.
Part of the casket is a lie. We saw it.
Let's hear
Thank
Crush
you.
Queen. Let's have you, Crush Queen. Hold on, Mr. Bayo. Crush Queen, please go on, ma. Let's have you.
It's a very emotional time for all of us. It's emotional time for all of us. Anything that hits Baba hits us, because we all know he's the only one actually fighting to get justice for his son. So if Baba is sad and crying right now, it's the same way all of us are feeling. But it's not over. It's not yet to Huru. It's not yet to Huru. I tell you, case still there. My people, case still there. Baba can sue Wunmi for the death of Mohbad. Make I repeat him. If the state fails to push this case further, Baba can sue Wunmi for the death of his son. It happened in the case of O.J. Simpson. The family of O.J.'s wife sued O.J. for the death of that lady. Case is there. And this is not in isolation. It's not in isolation. Superficial simply means if there were stab wounds on his body, they may look real until you examine them, you know, at a closer range. That is the meaning of superficial. In other words, they are telling us not to believe that there are actually maybe stab wounds on his body. But this is what we need to push ahead. For the autopsy reports, we want the government to give us the pictures taken before the autopsy. The normal practice is that you take pictures before you start examining the body. That is standard practice globally.
Pictures, thank you.
Pretty much, exactly. So before the doctor starts any examination, they're supposed to take pictures of the body, front and back, before they start. So the legal team of Baba need to request for those pictures. We need to see, before you start your examination, what pictures did you take? You know? So case still there. Case still there. It's not over, my people. It's not over. Remember what Brekete said. They deliberately left Mohbad's body to decompose. Deliberately. Remember, the people that we are up against are those in government. Those who have the power to tramp over existing laws. But you know, God passed them. And that is what we are going to rely on. Kò sí agbára tán lè ní, agbára wọn máa ṣubú ni. It's not over, my people. It's not over. It's not over. This is a deliberate attempt to truncate justice. Well, Mohbad will get justice. For you, Easy Babe T, I don't know who you are. You say keep deceiving yourself. Don't worry. Ojú ẹ ló máa ṣe. You will be there when Mohbad get justice.
Olórí burúkú nìyẹn tí Wunmi ni ó máa lé ní.
Momo, auntie Momo, you will be there. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin, all you team Wunmi, you will be there when justice will be served. Wunmi, you cannot escape justice. You will answer for what you did to Mohbad. I'm addressing you directly, Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo. You are the principal person of interest in the death of Mohbad. You have a case to answer. You will explain the final moments of Mohbad. Blood dey your hands, Wunmi Cynthia Adebanjo. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ. You cannot escape. I'm addressing you, Adura. You betrayed your brother. Blood dey your hands. You will explain the final moments of your brother. Darosha, Mohbad is your nephew. You are his uncle. You understood the final moments of Mohbad. Blood dey your hands. Same thing for all the occupants of that house. You will not escape justice. My people, hope day. The case is not over. The case is not over. We will get justice for Mohbad. I yield the mic. Thank you.
May I add this to this, right? I think today would have been, what Baba saw today is so sad. I think today should have been the day where Mama Mohbad was present in the inquest. Maybe seeing the video, they're showing how Mohbad was treated and all of that. That might maybe soften her heart, and maybe, like, I'm just too emotional right now. Like,
yeah, please, I would like to add something to what Punch Queens I just said. I think the only another way we can get this justice is phone forensic. All the calls, telecommunication, they should go and get all the calls that they made, the communication they made. At least with that, we can establish what actually went wrong, what actually happened and led to the firing of Mohbad.
Juicy, let me
absolutely, Juicy, absolutely, by now, absolutely.
Crunch Queen,
that is why I said Queen. Case still day.
Case still day, Crunch Queen. But might tell you something. If they can follow this thing to America and go and tamper with it and bring us nonsense, that telephone owner small thing, they go down clearances.
You sure said they go America? I mean, you sure said they go America?
Bring that body to this country and
Crush Queen.
They did not bring anything to US. Forget, they lie.
Okay, then if they want us to believe what they read out, if they actually want us to believe them, let them post the name of the hospital when they carry out the whole everything.
They didn't do nothing.
They should post the name of the hospital.
You know, they gave us the name of one hospital in UK. Which people have gone there, they didn't see anything like that, any information of such. I mean, US.
Yeah, one lab. And it's a lie.
They gave us a name.
They didn't do anything.
The thing is, because from the look of a thing now, I don't know, to my own opinion now.
The sniper, are you there? Please, can you read it again, please? The sniper, please, can you repeat? Read the results again. What they said about the
all right.
Result of
okay. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Can go on.
All right. So the casket was too fake. Like they put the TOO too fake, which means rubbish gone. Then there was no blood in the casket. Injury on the back of his forearm, superficial injury. His leg was bent, the neck was bent.
Thank you, me, myself, and I. All of us saw blood in the casket when Mohbad was exhumed.
Of course, yes.
There was blood inside that casket.
We have the video.
There was blood inside that casket when it was exhumed. Fresh blood.
Fresh blood. Reddish and fresh. We saw blood.
Yeah, I quickly want to say something again. To make this case more further going, I would suggest that our lawyer should call in people that somebody that buy the casket, whosoever that put Mohbad inside that casket. If they are being charged, I think there will be an open more case. It is not only the Hausa that will do that job. There are still some people that put that boy inside that casket.
Bless you, Jesus. That is why I'm saying Baba Mohbad can sue Wunmi and those people in that house for Mohbad's death if the state refused to pursue this case. Case never finish, my ladies. It never finish, I dey tell you.
And let's have you, Lady Iron Lady, please. Let's have you.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I greet you all according to your time zone. I've been listening. In the caskets, there were sawdust. I think the sawdust probably absorbed the blood. That was the purpose of putting the sawdust into the casket, I want to assume. And the autopsy, the superficial wound means that is not a different wound. The way I think the sniper read it, it means that the wound in the forehand is not a deep cut at all. So just like we have said, that wound in the hand cannot be the cause of his death. So it means it's very, just like Wunmi said, that the wound was very, very superficial. That is what it meant, that it's not a deep cut. The forehand wound is not a deep cut. Okay? With his leg and neck being bent, I think we have analyzed that prior to today, that the casket was small. It was not the pastor that broke his neck. It was whoever or the people that placed Mohbad in the casket the very first time that broke his neck and probably leg. Because I really don't think we saw the whole casket, his leg. So maybe they squeezed him there, but they were able to straighten his legs and we didn't see that. Then they just left his neck bent. Okay, so that, and those will be from the autopsy. Those will not be from the toxicology. That will be from the bodily viewing of the body and stuff like that. Then now going back to the autopsy that said that it is inconclusive. Inconclusive or cannot be ascertained does not mean that there is no case and does not mean that it is not a murder case. It just means that from the laboratory aspect of it, they cannot conclude that this is actually, they cannot ascertain, which means they cannot conclude it is actually, this is the actual thing that by the boy. So, like everybody else have said, we still have a case. Just as Crunch Queen rightfully said, during the O.J. Simpson case, when he was acquitted because the glove did not fit, the family were still able to go do civil lawsuits and they won. Yeah, so we're still going to move. That's one area to go. Also, I think there's still a slim chance we can perform our own autopsy and toxicology. It's just so saddening that since we have been screaming and saying it, they did not listen. They did not listen.
Thank you.
Because things like this are bound to happen. And when you have amateurs, handling cases like this is what you face. This is what you face when amateurs are the ones that are handling the case or that handle the case from the get-go. Only God knows when they sent the autopsy or if they sent the autopsy at all. Because like I said, Susan had the ability to go into her classified informations, and when she checked around, not me, Susan, when she checked around, there was nothing, absolutely nothing anywhere and everywhere. Okay, so who knows when? I'm not sure. We have to regroup. Who are the people still speaking to the lawyers? We have to regroup and say, okay, which way do we want to go, or do we want to go always? Because really, independent lawsuit should have been going simultaneously against Wunmi, against Darusha, against Adura, against Mama Adura. independent lawsuit should have been going on the exact same way we're working on the one for the embalmment. But did they listen? The answer is no. Which way forward are we going to go now? Do we want to say, okay, we want to rerun our own autopsy? If they are already saying that due to decay, that is why they cannot do it. And I don't believe that, because even here, when you exhume body 2 months, 3 months, even a year, you will still be able to ascertain the cause of death. You can say, oh, we viewed now, let's go back. Let me backtrack. What is autopsy and toxicology? I do not understand why it was separated to begin with, because they still need to view the bones, view the neck, view every part of the body. How could they have ascertained? Where did they take the body to see? Was a stab wound in the abdomen that pierced the lungs? I don't know how they did it. There was no family member or a family professional representative when the government was doing this. So it's been very shady all along. There was no professional saying, okay, when they were doing the toxicology, they viewed the bone, they viewed the bone marrow, they viewed the artery, they viewed the heart, they viewed the lungs, they viewed this, they viewed that. Nobody was there. I think we later found out from Baba that Blessing was there. Blessing was there. Then when we asked people to go and view this body, the TikTokers went to view the body. I mean, ó ti wọ́ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, láti ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ti bàjẹ́, ó ti wọ́ wá. So I don't know if we still can go through this route of autopsy and toxicology, or if we have to go through another route altogether. So Baba and his legal teams, we have to sit down, and I don't know who the legal teams are, okay? They all have to sit down and re-strategize. I think the word strategy has been said many times in a day on this platform. Strategy. But it is what it is. It does not mean that Wunmi is free. Wunmi is not free, especially now that we have a new information from what the sniper said, that the legs were broken. So they're still going to be charged for even more bodily damages. We heard from what Prime Boy said. And so now, definitely under the criminal law, probably it will now be a must to do DNA, because the same Mohbad said he called the boy a bastard. Quote unquote, I'm not the one calling him a bastard. He said Mohbad called the boy a bastard, and that is why they were fighting. So there's still a lot of areas we can go through. But I don't know. It is what it is right now. We just have to re-strategize, and it's very heartbroken. But all hope are not lost, or it's not lost. So that would be my humble submission.
Can I ask a question? Go this, you know, vex, because me, I like to ask questions. So. What does this mean for Prime Boy? Yeah, what does this mean for Prime Boy? Because right now, they've said, obviously, they've seen injury and all of that. So would they still now go after Prime Boy as the person that led to blah, 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 and blah?
Let Aristocrat answer that. I think Aristocrat is there.
Why are you assigning who to answer it?
What do you say?
Okay, let Aristocrat answer. Why did you ascribe it to Aristocrat?
Go ahead, please. I just came online. I've not heard anything, so I'm listening to everyone.
The sniper, anybody can answer your question. When you throw a question to the house, anybody can answer that question.
Yeah, I didn't mention anyone's name.
It was Bayo that is assigning who answer what question. So he said Aristocrat should answer that.
No, go ahead, Madam Iron Lady. Madam Marys. Please go on. Answer that question quickly,
I
please.
mean, it's open to the floor. Anybody can answer it, but no, these are areas where you need good lawyers.
Sorry. This is not time to drag.
I'm
Please,
talking.
sorry.
I'm already talking. I've moved past that.
Okay, ma. Okay.
This is the time you need good lawyers. I'm very confident about Prime Boy's lawyer. He is going to fight with tooth and nail. He will not let anybody put anything on the boy that does not belong to him. So it does not mean that, because we will do a return demonstration, and that one, as they said, is superficial. And Wunmi herself said it at the inquest that the wound could general. I was just using something to rub it. So the question is, what killed Mohbad? Because the autopsy cannot tell us, but at least Prime Boy can also say that, or Prime Boy's lawyer can say that wound, even though it cannot come from a Prado. It cannot. When you do a return demonstration, do it 1 million times in 1 million country, you will not get the same results. Okay, even if you do it under technology, try to mimic it and do it, you cannot get that result. So they cannot put that on him if that is what they want to claim by him. So where did the profuse bleeding? Right now, Baba stand a bigger chance to sue the police. Now, autopsy says superficial. Where did the profuse bleeding came from? Okay, there are so many things, but that's one, it cannot be put on the Prime Boy. To the best of my understanding, you cannot put it on him because that is not the wound. And remember, everybody testified that Prime Boy did not hit back. Prime Boy did not hit back. So how can they put it on him? Especially now that autopsy and toxicology said that the wound is superficial. How can they put it on him? No, they cannot put it on him. Every finger points to Wunmi. Plus, they said something happened. They were having an argument in the car. Blah 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 blah. I mean, it's there's still room to exploit. We have not, we have not done a good job. But there's still room to exploit. There's more room to exploit. And anybody else can support or go against the form.
Can I ask another question, if you guys don't mind?
Oh,
if
sure.
anyone want to speak, let me know. Okay. After hearing more, like from what I've said today, right? Does that mean if it happens to be this thing that we've read?
Please wait. Let me ask a question. Me, myself, hold on, because I want to ask you that you're asking a question. Lady Iris, so are they, and me, myself, everybody here, so are they now saying that, because if you said inconclusive, that's from autopsy, so the toxicology showed that there were no toxins in the body. Is that what they're saying?
I mean, that is what they are trying to establish, is that even the nurse is going to cut free.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
that means the injection.
I have said it many, many times that the medications the nurse gave, the medication ceftriaxone, paracetamol, and worse, they cannot kill Mohbad. They cannot kill Mohbad. From the day they read it, I have been screaming that those medications cannot kill Mohbad. Even if you have an allergy to ceftriaxone. Ceftriaxone is a very, very common antibiotic. You can give it in IV form. You can even give it in IM. When people come, you have I'm having itchy. I had sex last night. I have some itches. You give them IM ceftriaxone. You mix it with 3cc. You're done. You go on your way. You cannot even have, even if you're allergic to it, it is not that severe that it can shut down your respiratory panel. You can have grumps, pimples, you can have chills, you can have rashes, superficial side effects you can have. For that kind of a guy that has a collateral reservation or reservoir, there's no way no way something happened to Mohbad.
So, Lady Harry, so based on your response now, because let's look at it this way. So this result, they have focused on autopsy. There's nothing on toxicology. So clearly this was botched. Because I'm trying to understand how this 7 months, remember they had a police report where they came out to say that the autopsy, so please, can anybody remind me what the police said about the autopsy? I think they were talking about being inconclusive along those lines. So they're waiting for toxicology. So you won't tell me 10 weeks, the US waited 10 weeks to give to come back on the toxicology to say it's inconclusive. Because from everything this guy have said, I've not heard anything talking about the toxicology. There's nothing. And I've just checked. If you even Google to say, why would something be inconclusive? It could be the samples that were taken. What is the guarantee? What is the proof?
Thank you. It could be the sample. That's why I said I don't know why the autopsy was done in Nigeria, because toxicology and autopsy, postmortem corona cases goes together. It goes together. You view the bones. You have to view what if he was stabbed through his rib cage. I'm just saying, how will they know in US? Sample means they send some. I don't understand how they did it this way. And Sanwo-Olu was telling us that the laboratory was burnt down during NSAS. And when we talk, they will say aristocrats in the if we say Nigeria is good, don't abuse Nigeria. No. Why would they do it that way? And I've given them Moses gave them a number. Moses gave Muyiwa a laboratory in Nigeria that can perform an excellent job. We gave them a number. I told them about the Chinese man that is in VI that can run everything in total. I don't know. They didn't listen. Muyiwa needs to cover his face.
Because sorry to cut you, because if you're telling me inconclusive, it don't make sense. If you tell me natural causes,
inconclusive does not mean that. Exactly, inconclusive does not mean that. Inconclusive does not mean that there is no stab wounds, there is no toxin. Inconclusive could mean there is not enough sample. Inconclusive could mean there is nothing, and if there is nothing found. Let's say there is no drug found, it will state it, no drug found, no this, but inconclusive means we cannot ascertain, we cannot determine it. And what are the reasons this could not be determined? The sample sent was too old. I think they said because the composition, but I don't buy that, because of course body get decomposed and they assume it all the time. All the time. You know, all the time they assume these bodies here. Even 100 years bones, they can say, okay, when was it that I was looking at something not too long ago, someone that died many years ago, over 100 years ago, and they were able to say the cause of death of that cadaver was so and so. So I don't understand what is playing out here, you know. I don't get it.
And Lady Aries, this is why we should have had our private autopsy ready for today. I'm losing it. Honest to God.
If you are losing it, what do you want me to do or say? When we've been on this case since September, do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. Crying more than the bereaved. And the sniper, you had a question that was interjected. Hold on, Golden State. Let him ask that question.
No, and asked the question already. I was going to ask if, like, as it is now, it's like they're trying to play into the public head. Like, obviously, if no one goes to prison, they see it as win-win in no angle. Like,
it's not win-win. We lost.
Like, no. I'm saying from their own side, from the whoever. Like, obviously, Baba lost, right? But if Wunmi was to go prison, like, the Wunmi team will come out. They might even want to they might want to protest. If Prime Boy was to go prison, some people will come out want to protest. But as it is now, it's like they've done it in a way that no one is going to go prison and just leave it.
Yeah,
That's
I think
what they've done.
Exactly. I think that's what they have done. That's what they have resorted to, because it seems that if truly, which I strongly believe so, there are some backups. There are some the powerful and the mighty that are in this case backing and watching what we do, and now they see that Prime Boy is suing Wunmi. I said Professor IPO Mohammed said that Prime Boy should confess because they have the dagger. Now autopsy is saying that everything is superficial. So they see that we are fighting. They wanted to put it on Prime Boy's head. Prime Boy has sued the police. Okay, we can't go that route because this guy knows his right. They wanted to do the nurse. We said no, it cannot be the nurse because the boy died on Monday. And so they see there is no way to manipulate it other than to say inconclusive, so everybody go home free. Because who wants to go down? If the nurse should go down, the nurse will confess.
Yeah. I actually want to say something. At this point, they actually got what they want, but at the same time, our lawyer needs to do a lot. If they come that other way, if our lawyer can change the game. And if our lawyer change the game, the whole thing will be win for us. Now, from the result of the autopsy and toxicology, it has been stated that Mohbad's head was bent, his leg was broken. That one alone is a game for us if our lawyer are ready to go through that route.
That is why I said that.
Justice, can I reply your question? Sorry, Bayo, please. The people that we're dealing with is like everything you bring, they have answer to it. Everything you bring, they have answer to it. If you go this route that you're talking about, I promise you, they have a way to debunk it. See, I keep saying, if these people, like the government, if they could get away with NSAS, if the governor could say nobody died and got away with it. See, this is not, they don't see this case as something big that they can't get away from.
How can they got away with a broken neck, and buying a small casket? What is making them, what is running them, what is pursuing them that make them to go through that route and make that thing happen? I don't think that they can go covering this.
That is why I told you, Justice, wait, the sniper waits now. That is why when Justice wanted to say that there's no case to the criminal code, that's why I don't want her to say that.
No, Bayo, I said concerning this result and this upgoing inquest. That one is another route.
That's what I'm telling you. The inquest will recommend charge. They will make a submission. And part of the submission, they will establish some facts. The establishment of the fact that there was neglect or conspiracy between something and something will be recommended. They cannot strike that out. Because Wunmi holds that guy a duty of care. You will see that when you read that Wunmi's sniper.
Wait. Let me counter what you're saying quickly, please, before it goes. I'm going to mute now, right? Please. We want to find out, from what they've read today, we don't know what killed Mohbad. So how is buying casket and all of that tell us what killed Mohbad? Was that
it does not wait because we don't know the cause of death does not mean the case is over. During the time his life was still alive, what did you do to save that boy? We have to know that. What are the attempts? What are the actions you took? And that was why they were asking her at the inquest. What did you do? Were you there when they were giving him the injection? Did you try to save his life? Did you take him to the hospital on time? How long is the hospital from your house? Those are neglect that carry criminal charges. Those are the things that she needs to have done. And after the dead body after he died, what did you do to the dead body? Because there are crimes that can never be overlooked. So it might not be the murder. She might not be charged for murder, but they can still be charged for neglect. They can be charged for some other things. It's not a total free thing. It's not a total free ride. They might not be charging them for murder, right? But they're going to get a court case. They're going to catch cases.
Bayo, don't forget that it's not
based on this result. Based on this result, Darusha will catch a case because the inquest will recommend charges in their submission. You will see.
Mr. Aristocrat to contribute.
Please, before he comes up, I have a
Mr.
question.
Aristocrat, please can you?
Please, I have a question. Hold on, Golden State. I have a question. I hope the lawyers or whatever they are, I hope they have gotten a copy of that post-mortem result. I hope they took a copy. I hope they've not been stupid there. Because sorry, I'm not in a very good mood these days, and I'll not be for the future. I hope they have a copy of that. I hope they've not been stupid and walked out of that place without having a copy, so that they can verify it to confirm that that result came from wherever they said it came from. Right, continue.
I mean, they need to have the originals. They need to have the original that came directly from wherever it came from. We remember when they told us about 2 weeks ago or thereabout that the results of the toxicology is out. The police said that they are all jargons to them and they have submitted it to the pathologists that perform the autopsy to interpret. So we need to have the original, not the interpreted copy. Because the way you interpret English, the way Crunch Queen interpreted the superficial now was different from the way I interpreted it. So they need to have the original copy that came from wherever and the interpretation of that copy. They need to have it. So if it's inconclusive, does not mean a crime was not committed. They just cannot ascertain that from the samples that were sent over there, and that's it for now. Go ahead, Aristocrat, sorry.
Hello, everybody. And baby, don't have hypertension, please. Like I will always say, let everybody, let's deal with this case without too much emotion. The fact is there for us to see, and we will navigate and get things right. I've not been on social since morning. I've been busy. I just said I should come to listen to what has happened. But for what I could gather, it is still not too good report, because it's obvious our suspicion from beginning is that the police were trying to play smart. The people they've accused were supposed to be 4 guys for what did not happen. But because of the outcry of people, they cannot go further with it. And from what I've been hearing so far, is like none of the accused will go down for anything. Just like I used to say, government will give justice, but it is not justice as defined by the people and what the people want. So they give us whatever justice they want to have. I think, personally, what we should be calling for now is pressing the restart button. We should call for new inquest. We should call for new autopsy. We should call for a new team to take over the case. We cannot investigate ourselves constitutionally, but we can demand that the case be given to another team. We can demand that they go back to status quo and let them start the investigation all over again. Now, when they say inconclusive when it comes to post-mortem or laboratory examination, what it means is simply this. They will have to redo it again, because it is either the sample is not sufficient for them to carry out what they would carry out, because they will not get the right result. It is either the sample has been tampered with, so they will still not get the right result. A clear thing from result is always like this. Toxicology, for example, if there are no toxin, it will say no toxin found. On the body, the job of the autopsy is to look at anything on the body and to predict the degree of it and look at the impact. Now, they said he injured himself through the glass. They will see if it is actually an injury And I think from what I heard, is a superficial injury, which is not sufficient to kill him. It's like you have a bruises. Bruises no go kill you. If it is not an injury that was deep, that could touch his vein, why did they say he bled profusely? That would be a question. And when everybody were saying it is the injection the nurse gave tetanus, he has hypertension. Let me tell us something. I cut my finger last year, my middle finger, with a very sharp knife, and I could see my bone. You know that fleshy part of your finger. I bled profusely with that because my flesh was cut. You could see it, separating. And I was in the car, and I moved from where I was. We went for shopping. From where I was to get to my hospital was around 30 minutes drive. So the amount of blood that was coming, my kids were very afraid. They were like, "Dad, you are bleeding." I used all the tissue in the car, a new tissue, to wrap it up, to hold it, making pressure on it. But each time I was replacing it. That was so much blood. My carpet, I ensured that the blood did not drip on my carpet of the car. Now, my wife was driving, and I ensured the blood did not drip on the carpet of the car. But all those tissue, a new tissue, everything was soaked with blood. This was just my middle finger. Till we got to the hospital, and my hand was stitched. I got tetanus, I got all those things they were talking about. I have been diagnosed for hypertension since 2010. This is like 14 years. I was given injection, nothing happened to me. I left the place, I actually left the place and went home and began to do other things. So it surprises me when they were saying it was not the injection that killed him, number one. Number two, police tried to tell us his story. And from our analysis, they saw that it is not bought. They were clever by an half. Now, I think for all of us, we should look back and clap for ourselves, especially on Papariano's platform, for analyzing this case since like November, when reanalysis started, analyzing this case and being able, even though we were not police, FBI, or anything, we've been like 80% right of things that we said. 80% right, I would say. So we need to pat ourselves on the back. And that what that means is we have a conscious public that could see through things and could place things side by side, even without having access to a number of gadgets, a number of instruments, like the police of Nigeria have, because I know they have a lot of gadgets. They are well equipped, like what they have. And we were able to see that things were not done right. Having said that, I think Yoruba will say, Iyan oda tugun, obe oda tunse. We should not be tired. We need to start all over again. Because it is obvious that whatever the government have done for the last 8 months are all mumbo jumbo, bladderdash, from head to toe. And they've wasted the taxpayers' money to do that. Now, the people that are saddled with those responsibilities have failed us. The result of the autopsy was out, I think around November or so. They did not read it because they said they need someone to read it. Now that they came to read it, they are reading rubbish. They spent 12 weeks to do bloody toxicology that they said they sent abroad. What is the end game? Rubbish. Not that we don't know this will happen, but this is for me where the fault comes from. No be today we done a talk say make we do private postmortem what has happened. Emperor Muiwa, what happened? Olori Oko, Baba Mohbad, what happened? All the Egbe Afenifere, what happened? Those who are contributing money, go fund me, go back me, what happened? We should have done better. Because if we have commissioned a private autopsy around February, or even in March, or even in April, we will have done the first side of it, which is the autopsy. It will only take 2 weeks. Irrespective of the stage of the body, a result will come out. If we have commissioned the toxicology, result will be on its way. But we failed to do that because we are not looking at the evidences, we are looking at the noise and the distraction. And for me, this is just the report. Even if you have the best lawyers, best lawyer will only come with the possibility, just like what we always analyze. But they need the hard fact to fight whatever government brings. But let me tell you something. They can still do post-mortem examination. Look at Sylvester case now. They did how many post-mortem on that young boy corpse? About 3 or 4. The government did the first one, the family did the second one, then the government went to do the third one. The corpse was there, and they were using it before they came last month to tell us the final verdict.
Please, sir, please, let's listen to the sound. Let's listen to the sound, please. Thank you. Let me come on video, Papariano, so that people can see him. That's the lawyer, please. The son.
Fáwọn ní àǹfààní láti lè rí dájúdájú wípé ìjọba ìlú fa ikú olóògbé. Àmọ́ òun ti sọ ìrọ́pọ̀ tí ó ti sọ rìpọ́ọ̀tì ẹ̀ báyìí tó wá síwájú adájọ́. A ò tí ì béèrè àwọn questions lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. Ṣé o rò pé bí àwọn aráàlú àtàwọn olólùfẹ́ Mohbad bá gbọ́ àbájáde ohun tí olùdíwì sọ, ṣé o lè rò pé ó lè mú ìfẹ̀hónúhàn àti ìbínú dání bíi pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn fẹ́ mú awúrúju dání? No, ẹ má jẹ́ kó mú awúrúju dání, ẹ má jẹ́ kó sì fa wàhálà, nítorí pé kì í ṣe iṣẹ́ kékeré ní ìjọba ń ṣe láti ṣe àyẹ̀wò tá à ń sọ. Ẹ rí pé ẹ rí rìpọ̀tù yẹn náà, kẹ́yìn náà kà á, gbogbo wa kà á. Àbí tó bá lè yàn ṣe ìdánwò, result tẹ̀ jáde, tó bá ló fail, ó pass, ẹ ṣàṣírí sí ẹ náà, ká tó di bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí. So káwọn èèyàn kan ní sùúrù, wọ́n ní sùúrù lábọ́ àpapọ̀ ìgbò àwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ìyá. Ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọ̀nà míì tún wà, àwọn apá ìbò tó fẹ́ tọ́ pinpin tàbí ọ̀nà wò yàtọ̀ sí àwọn àyẹ̀wò yìí? Ọ̀nà ni ó wà tí àyẹ̀wò. Àmọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣe ń bí, ó ní nǹkan tó gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Ó ní nǹkan tó gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Nǹkan gbọ́dọ̀ wò ni wípé ta ló kú? Kí ló pa ènìyàn? Àti ọ̀nà wo ló gbà? Kámẹ́tà yẹn. Ṣé kú gbọ́ ni? Àbí kú kíni kan wáyé àwọn nǹkan mẹ́ta yẹn? Àmọ́ pé nǹkan míì lẹ́yìn àwọn eléyìí, kò sí ẹ̀dùn kan wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ lè. Àmọ́ gbogbo ọ̀nà míì wà tí a fi lè lọ tán sí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ní kóòtù míì. Oríṣiríṣi wọn ń sọ̀rọ̀ paternity, DNA test, wọ́n ní lọ ṣe ní kóòtù míì láti lè tó ní bàbá ọmọ. Mo rí pé ẹ fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá ọ̀rọ̀ wò lẹ́nu ọ̀kan náà àwọn ẹlẹ́rìí tí wọ́n ṣèwádìí lẹ́nu ẹ̀, ìyẹn Prime Boy lónìí. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ àti ẹ̀rí tó jẹ́, ǹjẹ́ ó ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹjọ́ ikú Mohbad yìí? Ǹjẹ́ àwọn kókó wà tẹ̀rí dì mú? Ó sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀, àmọ́ kókó nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ mi rí dì mú nǹkan tó sọ ní pé ìjà wà láàrin Mohbad àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ yìí ó dẹ̀ tún ṣàlàyé wípé wọ́n tún ẹ̀ ń ta àwọn síra wọn pé ẹ mélòó ni mo bá ẹ lásìkò kó tó di pé wọ́n á sọ pé oyún dé mi ò lérò pé níbo ni ọmọ yìí ó lọ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà bọ́ àwọn àgbàdo mẹ́rin bẹ́ẹ̀ adájọ́ ní ká máa gbẹ́nu lọ síbẹ̀ lọ títí.
Imagine.
Ṣé wọ́n ń jà láàrin wọn ò jà gbogbo ayé tí wọ́n sì pé ìjà wà láàrin wọ́n sì ń bínú síra wọn kó ló di pé olóògbé kù.
Sọ ẹ nígbẹ́kẹ̀lé pé ìdájọ́ òdodo sì máa wáyé.
Mo nígbẹ́kẹ̀lé o púpọ̀ mo nígbàgbọ́ púpọ̀ torí pé àwọn tó wà ní adájọ́ tó ń ṣe ẹjọ́ yìí àti gbogbo àwọn agbẹjọ́rò tó wà níbí wọ́n dáńtọ́.
That is life on Aláròyé. Yes, is that what
yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well spoken.
Yeah, I think at this point, Baba and the team must drop
in English. I mean, let's try everybody. So what that man just said right now, everybody, just be muted. Oh, play the video, just be muted. So that can be.
No, it's okay.
Yes. I'm just coming. I don't know from where he started, but from where I just picked up right now, and Baba was asked a question.
Again, but this is live.
It's live, right? That's what I know. I mean, I said just be playing the live on your video. Be playing the live since it's live. Be playing the live now. Let's see what is happening in the arena.
Okay.
So that everybody is safe. Yeah, to make sure everybody is safe. Now, what I heard right now that he said. They asked him that, Baba, what are the things that happened, the things that Primeboy said, is it very useful in establishing the cause of the death of Mohbad, the things that happened? And he said, yes, that Primeboy spoke a lot. He said so many things. But that one thing that is so paramount or so important that he held to is the fact that he believed that there happens to be a fight between Mohbad and Wunmi, and to say in a short or to say the cause that there was a situation where Mohbad and the wife were having a quarrel involving Mohbad asking the wife, how many times did I sleep with you? How many times did I knock you that you have this baby? And you are saying it's my baby. And that was what was said earlier when I think the sniper to talk about Mohbad calling that child a bastard child. So Mohbad and the wife were having an argument concerning the paternity of this child. That has always been what they have been hiding from us, what Spending did not say, what any of them would not say, and that is what Primeboy has bring to our notice, to all of us. So what this man what he holds strongly, firmly, then that got to them was the fact that there is a link towards a fight between Mohbad and Wunmi. Though I don't think there is an evidence of any fight there right now, but he believed that there is a fight. And from what Primeboy said, that there was an argument between Wunmi about the paternity of that child. So when Mohbad was asking the wife, how many times did I sleep with you that you have to until you give birth to this child? So that is one of the most important things that he took out of today's inquest as our lead lawyer of the Corona inquest, Wahab Shittu himself. And do they say the pathologists are going to speak today again, or it's going to be later? I mean, it's 3:12 now. Do they still have time?
They say result is inconclusive. What is Sotele?
Oh, yeah, we don't know yet. The court is not over yet, like they said.
The court is not over yet. They are in a recession, right? They are in a recession.
I think it's over.
Paparano, just like what Barrister Shitsu said, he said, they said the body had already decomposed, so they could not get things accurately. That was the first thing he said. That according to them, the body had already, been decomposing, so they cannot get certain things.
Now, to address that, again, these are the things that we have all been worried that we have been talking about since January, since December last year. We've all been coming this process. And when we talk, they say, oh, Berekete is doing this, is doing that. We have to learn how to win cases. You don't win cases by just being all alone. It's not like that.
Paparano, please hold on. Let's listen to this.
Okay, go on.
David Nowola, and we represent entertainment community.
Okay. All right.
Under the auspices of TNK Music Worldwide.
Okay. Báwo lẹ ṣe rí ìgbẹ́jọ́ tòní yìí sí? Kí ló wáyé? Báwo ló ṣe lọ sí?
First off, I need witnesses méjì, someone see court later. And first off, court was able to take that evidence of Prime Boy. He gave his whole evidence, gave it, which is very helpful towards the role of the coroner inquest court. It was a fact-finding role of the coroner inquest court. And also, most importantly, the much-awaited pathologist and the autopsy report came up today. And were able to, once pathologist was able to shed light on the report itself. Albeit, the report was death unascertained. However, one thing that was noted is the fact that the death was unascertained because of the level of decomposition that has happened. And so at that point in time, he could not have detected several other things that could have been detectable ordinarily. So, but as it stands, it doesn't mean that the role of the coroner inquest court has expired, because the autopsy report was supposed to be one of the several other evidence that would help the court in its fact-finding role. So we have other evidence, oral evidence of other respondents, and these are things that will be considered and will be analyzed by the court. That's a move verdict to a Komua ní inú mátà yìí.
Nípa wo lẹ rò pé irú àbọ̀ ìwádìí tí ẹni tó ṣàyẹ̀wò sí òkú yẹn, àbọ̀ ìwádìí tó mú wáyé tó ní wọn ò rí kókó ohun tó pa Mohbad, nípa wo lẹ rò pé ó máa ní lórí àwọn olólùfẹ́ Mohbad, àwọn ọ̀dọ́ àtàràlù tí wọ́n ń retí ìdájọ́ òdodo lórí ikú yìí?
No, unfortunately, the fact that remains that it has not been compromised. The autopsy report is yet expose the fact that the death is undetermined. Does not mean that the fact-finding role of the court has been compromised. No, there are two things. That's why I said, outside reporting, other variables were before the court for the court to analyze the matter itself and to come up with its fact-finding verdict. There are other things. So, the report will show before the pathologist gave his report, he mentioned that sometimes a percentage of 2 to 3%. There's a percentage of 2 to 3% that sometimes reports might be uncertain due to factors not within the control of the state of the pathologist. But factors, especially when it's specifically stated that factors that have to do with the composition of the body, especially if mentioned the body organs could have been taken between 12 to 24 hours. 12 to 24 hours, and could have, if it was exhumed at that point in time, the report could have shown evidence, because the body would not have decomposed. But you cannot help an unbound body that decomposed, and it's science. So it does not vitiate or it does not render the effort or the ongoing coroner inquest invalid. It doesn't.
Nǹkan bí oṣù mẹ́jọ ló ti ń kọjá lọ báyìí ní ẹ̀yìn tí Mohbad ti kú. Ǹjẹ́ o rò pé àkókò tó gùn jọ̀rọ̀jọ̀rọ̀ yìí tí ìwádìí sì ń lọ lọ́wọ́ tí ò tí ì sí ìgbẹ́jọ́, ǹjẹ́ o rò pé yẹn lè mọ̀ káràlú ní ọ̀sán ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí?
Yes, a process. The legal process is a process. It is not an automatic thing. It is a process and a procedure that has to be followed. So, contrary to what people expect, we will not just come to court today and get judgment tomorrow. There's a process. So people should be to learn to wait for the process and trust in the process. There's no need having going back and forth and having disbelief in a process that you want judgment to come out from. So I just want to let the public know the matter is still ongoing and we are tilting towards the end. We are making progress by the day. The pathologist has come today. It has removed the fact that we have not heard anything about the report, like people have been saying before now. The report has been given. The fact that the report did not show anything does not remove the fact that the report has been given. It's fact.
Okay. Kan náà àwọn tó tún fọ̀rọ̀ wá lẹ́nu wò ní Primeboy tó súnmọ́ olóògbé tímọ́tímọ́. Kí lè rí sí àwọn ẹ̀rí tó jẹ́ ní kóòtù lé ní jọ pèsè ẹ̀rí tàbí ìrànlọ́wọ́ kan jẹ́rí kókó kan dìmọ́ náà tó sọ.
It's very explanatory and it's very elucidating too. Nítorí pé ó ti fún wa ní much more insight. Because we have had several other respondents before the court. His testimonies to have come to corroborate some of the facts that have been spoken, that have been given before, and has come to also puncture some of the facts that have been presented before the court. And I said something. All of this evidence was subject to analysis by the court. It's all before the court. The court is a court of record. So all of these things are records before the court. So at the point that the coroner inquest court will give its verdict, all of these factors will be considered. And yes, some of these testimonies have shed more light in the sense that he has come to say he is a witness to the fact that they said the injury that was sustained, and he's saying that there was no injury sustained while he was there because he was the person directly involved. So a lot of things all of these facts will be subject to, of course, has been subject to cross-examination, and much more fact has been elicited from the witness. So all of this, we are moving forward. It's a progressing, and we are tilting towards the conclusion of the matter itself.
So lédè mi ẹ ronú pé káwọn èèyàn sì nígbàgbọ́ nínú bí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ìṣe ń lọ pé wọ́n á rí ìdájọ́ òdodo.
Yes, it's a process, and the process is the court said it too. I'm sure that the press people when the court said it, the court is a court of process, and the court is doing all it can for justice to be achieved.
Lónìí ó dàbẹ̀ ni pé adájọ́ yẹn ó le díẹ̀ nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ kó tún gba àwọn ìbéèrè kan wọlé. Ṣé
okay,
so ìṣàṣìwò adájọ́ yẹn ní orí àga lónìí báwo ló ṣe rí?
It's a normal process before the court has to be astute. The court has to be astute when it comes to the discharge of his duty without any form of sentiment, and I think that's what played out today. Astute in discharge of our duties without sentiment, and I don't think it's a normal disposition before the court. If we are used to being before the court, we understand that this is a court situation. To be straight and to be fair, especially in a matter as sensitive as this nature, the court has to be very, very astute when discharging his duties.
Tí ilé ẹjọ́ tó ń ṣèwádìí bá parí ìwádìí tí wọ́n kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tó tún kàn ní ìlànà òfin?
Yes, the verdict to be submitted, and if need be, that persons will be charged with the high court. Sure, it would. It continues. It's a continuous process. It's a process. It's a continuous process.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, nípa àwọn items tó ń lọ
ṣé àwọn òkúta yẹn? Okay, well, the pathologist being a witness during the exhumation process mentioned that they saw a very heavy stone on the very heavy òkúta lórí tomb first, but it took them about 3 to 4 hours to remove the stones. When they also exhumed the body, they saw a very heavy stone on the coffin too. So he said he doesn't understand what it means. But he just stated what he saw. That's all. He has been in the process of execution for a very long time, and he said this is the first time he has seen such. That's all I can tell you. David Nowola, representing the entertainment community.
Àwọn àjẹ́ òkúta lórí everything.
David Olaiwole representing what? Representing what?
The government governor. The entertainment industry.
This guy fire, Papa, no, this David Nowola, very fire where for the CTC.
When we are saying that even without a bad lawyer, lawyers don't say that they handle this thing there. Then plenty there now.
But this guy said before, this guy a question.
Baba lawyer also try. Baba lawyer also try.
No, that's why we are just saying that. I mean, you don't be saying only one person job. It's an everybody's. It's a public thing.
Did we know the next date of the inquest?
They've not finished the inquest.
Break.
They've not.
Pathologists have spoken. They have spoken already. They are still.
Yeah, but they want to cross-examine them. They want to cross-examine the pathologists. Yeah, they want to question them. They want to cross-examine them.
àbọ̀ ìwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe lórí òkú yẹn.
Why is princess in
dókítà tó ṣe àbọ̀ ìwádìí yẹn àtàwọn òṣèlú ti wá ó sì ti sọ àwọn ohun tó rí níbẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àbálọ àbábọ̀ wọn láwọn ò lè sọ pàtó ohun tó pa Mohbad tàbí ohun tó ṣokùnfà ikú Mohbad nítorí pé nígbà tí àwọn máa fi lọ wú òkú yẹn lára àwọn ẹran ara ẹ ti ń jẹrà lára àwọn ohun èlò táwọn máa lò ti ń jẹrà wọ́n sì ní àyẹ̀wò táwọn tó ṣe lórí ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí àwọn ẹ̀yà ara míì gbogbo tó lè fi hàn bóyá àbí wọ́n ní májèlé ni àbí ó mú nǹkan jẹ ni àbí wọ́n yí lọ́rùn ni wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ̀ kò séyìí tó fi hàn pé èyíkéyìí náà àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ṣẹlẹ̀. kókó mi ta tún rí nínú ìgbẹ́jọ́ tòun ni pé awuyewuye tó wáyé nígbà tí wọ́n lọ wú òkú Mohbad pé wọ́n rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní ibi sàárè tí wọ́n ti wú òkú ẹ̀ yẹn tó fi hàn pé bóyá kò tí ì kú bóyá ṣe náà sí lóòyẹ bóyá wọ́n ti kánjú sí jù dókítà ní kò sí tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní ipa táwọn èèyàn rí yẹn kì í ṣẹ̀jẹ̀ ó ní amọ̀ pupa tí òjò ṣàn sínú sàárè amọ̀ pupa yẹn òun ló làwọn èèyàn rí tó ń sọ pé
this man is interpreting rubbish.
dókítà yẹn sọ ó sì tún sọ pé àwọn nǹkan àbàmì náà wáyé nígbà tí wọ́n lọ wú òkú Mohbad.
lókè yìí wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí.
òkúta ńláńlá tí wọ́n gbé sórí pósí àti sórí sàárè yẹn.
pípé ìgbà táwọn ṣe ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn ò mọ̀ wẹ́dà bí ó gbé nǹkan jẹ àbí kò gbé nǹkan jẹ wọn sọ pé kò sí result tó gbé nǹkan jẹ wọn ò lè sọ pàtó.
no now juices are you listening to me.
farabalẹ̀ juices farabalẹ̀ ìyẹn tọ́.
wọ́n tún máa wáyé ìgbà yẹn ni àwọn agbẹjọ́rò lọ́tùlọ́sì náà máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fi ọ̀rọ̀ orin ní náà máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fi ìbéèrè wá ọ̀rọ̀ wò lẹ́nu dókítà láti mọ húlẹ̀húlẹ̀ ohun tí ìwádìí rẹ̀ tó sọ. iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn Aláròyé online TV ló mú àbọ̀ ìròyìn wá fún yín Faith Adébọ́lá ni oníròyìn.
All right.
Okay, Mariano, it's finished.
Do you want to go? Let me see.
Yes, let me go.
No, sit close to Atewo. Mo see Babi Atewo jare.
Okay. Let me quickly interpret.
All right.
I will simply take the interpreting from the summary.
Do you want me to play it from the beginning?
Don't play anything. How can you? Okay. I will say it's just in summary. What they've said so far is just like reiterating what Barrister Wahab Shittu said. He said because the body was not taken over for postmortem examination between 24 hours or 48 hours of the dead and the body had decomposed, it affected the result. Because of the decomposition, they were not able to get some facts clear, and which has affected, for example, on the autopsy, examination of the flesh to look at some signs. It was difficult for them because the body was decomposing. Now, also, when it comes to the toxicology, because the samples were taken after, longer time, it did not help them to get a conclusive result. So they cannot get a conclusive result as much as they will want to. Now, this is owed to a number of reasons. Whether the samples were late, whether a number of things will come up. Now, Barrister Shittu said something, that the purpose of doing postmortem is to ascertain three major things: to ensure that the body you are examining is the person that died, number one. To look at the body for elements or things that could point them to say something happened, maybe cut, maybe any other thing. That is, and also to ascertain what killed the person. But because of the decomposition, this was difficult. And the same thing affected the toxicology. Now you are taking blood, kidney, heart, or whatever of a body that is going through decomposition. Now, someone then, and that is the same thing that other lawyer who was representing the entertainment industry,
David Olaiwole.
David Olaiwole. Now, one of the journalists asked that man that, what about when, because the pathologist was present when they went to exhume the body. The pathology was present. Now, the pathology mentioned that they took them over 3 hours to get to the coffin because there were heavy concrete or heavy stone. There were heavy stones. I think it was concrete. Before they reported that, So he said there were every stone on the grave, and that is unusual because they had to break that bone, those concrete or stone or whatever for over 3 hours. So it made it a bit difficult. And when they got there, there was another big stone on the coffin itself. So that is two. They now said when they got there, they asked that people were saying they saw blood, and what the pathologist tried to explain is that they don't think it was blood. They don't think so. That it could be other thing, but they don't think so. By and large, the conclusion of the autopsy report is this. Because of the heavy decomposition of the corpse, they were not able to see certain things they would have seen if they took over the body 24 hours, 48 hours after death. And it's also affected some of their results. But as it is, that is what it is. However, that lawyer for the entertainment industry said, because he was asked, does that mean this case is over? He said no. In the legal jurisprudence, there are procedures to follow. It is not only autopsy report that determines the outcome of the inquest. There are other things. There are testimonials, evidences that will be given, which will be further analyzed to ascertain some other things. But the way it is, it seems because of the decomposition of the corpse, it has affected a very good result that they would have been able to. But that is just one of many things that we help them. So one can simply infer that we are not able to know what killed Mohbad, when Mohbad died, and etc., and see his body to look at any sign of injury or so. That was not able to happen. It is not due to anybody's fault, but because of decomposition. Now, that was, and the lawyer also said, reading the report is not the final on this because they are on recess now. When they resume, each lawyer will now cross-examine the pathologist to get clarity to other areas that they might be questioned or they don't understand. So as it were, that is where it is now. Hopefully, they will go back after they resume. Then if they finish, they will tell us when the next hearing will be. Now, another thing that was said was Prime Boy's testimony. From Prime Boy's testimony, he was able to tell the sitting what part of what they were arguing about. And he said it is on the paternity of the son. Because Prime Boy was saying, how many times did I copulate with you for you to have?
Did I knock you? Did I have sex with you? Not everybody understand copulate, I beg.
Knack.
And now you say, are you 18? Are you censored?
Go on. No, I'm not censored. I say knack or sex.
Okay, knack. Okay.
Or sex.
Without knack with you, you can't get what we are saying, ja.
How many times do they have sex? Mohbad was how many times did they have sex? Go on.
So that was one of the arguments. How many times did we toy? And he also said he doesn't believe the child is own, that the child is a bastard. That was one of those things that Prime Boy said they were arguing about, and it was a real argument. So I think that I've answered a lot of things that many people are asking questions about. Things
Thank
that
you very
others
much.
did not.
Any other person wants to? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Next, please. Who else want to talk about? I mean, the things that has been said so far. So please unmute your microphone and talk about it. In English, our audience, please.
One point that I still, before we joined the Alaroye, because I was there when the barrister, our son, was speaking in English, that before they are now asking if he can speak Yoruba. But one point that I grabbed for him when they said the result is unascertained, that is not yet decided, it means that it's not that is like, how did they put in English? Something that is incomplete yet, that they are not sure yet, that is like there's a compromising something.
Should you play it again so that I can understand what you want to say?
What is he meant when he spoke English? I don't know. It was live. If it was recorded, when Barrister Shitu, he says thank you for the English. He said it's suspicious for them to say that thing is inconclusive. That is suspicious, and they will down to the root to make sure that they get the real results. That is not. We should not. People should not panic. People should not come outside like the guy was asking him. Don't you think that this result can trigger Mohbad fan to come on the road, on the street to trigger? He said no. People should just calm down. That it's not yet over. Until it's over, that they will dig down to the root of this case.
Yeah, just to quickly address, a misunderstanding or maybe a misconception right now that is ongoing. The body, and if I'm wrong, please let anyone correct me. Okay, I mean this is what I heard. So far, I heard that that when they say the body has been decomposed, okay, that the body has rotted, okay, to the extent that they will be, that is, it has rotted. They cannot get like more accurate result, okay, but they can get result, but not that perfect result. For example, a dead body that died today, if you want to do autopsy and toxicology on that body, you will have more accurate result compared to a body that they have buried. You went to exhume the body 3 years later. Okay, so they are just saying that the result, okay, there's going to be some inconclusion. Okay, there will be some things that might have lost, okay, which would have helped in establishing the kind of result that they would have wanted, but they have not concluded yet. It is still inconclusive. So now they are not saying that Mohbad body, okay, the decomposition, they mean that at the time they exhume Mohbad from that grave, that after that 8 days or 9 days that Mohbad was in that grave, that Mohbad has decomposed. He don't rotten. Okay, he has rotted. So at the time they got him to the morgue, he has already rotted that time. They're not talking about now. They're not saying that it is because he was in the morgue, that's why he rotted. Before they ever place him in the morgue. So get that here, because the rumor is already spreading right now. Before they put Mohbad for morgue, after 9 days wait there for grave, 9 days saying don't rot inside grave. So as they put Mohbad in the morgue, the mortuary was able to maintain the condition. Whatever condition they bring Mohbad, at that point it will be maintained. Okay, the decomposition will be slowed down. when you embalm a body, is to slow down decomposition. But at the time he was in the grave, that 9 days, they said that he has decomposed, that they are unable to get, some accurate samples in his body, which would have helped in the the examination of the body. So that was one thing that I quickly wanted to correct. But again, I hope that we have a doctor then that will be able to puncture one or two things. Okay, for cross-examination, I don't think it's only lawyers who are going to cross-examine doctors. I hope there are doctors then from our side, either from the side of any public member who is going to be there to cross-examine doctors, not lawyers cross-examine doctors. Wahab Shittu cannot know medicine unless he has a profession in medicine. So what we're going to do is
how it is usually done is this. The council team would have a medical practitioner with them that is taking notes and will be helping them and will be passing the question to the lawyers to say, ask this question. That is how it's done. And you can also bring a pathologist to the stand to give